And the question is, for women in a married relationship, is sex a duty or not a duty? Are you obligated in a marriage to have sex with your husband?
Oh.
And we'll go around the table to ask the question, and we'll start with you. And Red, go ahead.
Yes, I do believe in a. I'm assuming like a normal relationship, assuming there's no like crazy outlying factors affecting the relationship.
Like medical and stuff like that.
Stuff like that. I mean, in a normal marriage, I do think it's your duty, and I do agree with you about a man's needs being catered to in order for him to, fulfill his role as the man of the house or man of whatever, household, relationship, whatever. But also, I think it's a man's duty to have sex with his wife too. So.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. We'll go around the table. Actually, pretty base take. Next.
I am based, by the way. Don't you see I'm in head to toe red? I just like to argue with you.
Wait, really quick, you want pizza?
I do.
Well, I mean, well then it's good for you then. So moving to the next on the table.
Pizza.
No, thank you.
Do you need me to repeat the question? You need me to repeat the question, don't you? You checked out to the 18-year-old OnlyFans girl. You just checked out. You don't even know what the question is, do you?
No, I do know what the question is.
All right. Go ahead.
I think you're referring to if sex is a duty for women or men, or just generally in a relationship.
Is there a duty to have sex? Is there an obligation to have sex in marriage?
I think that a relationship or a marriage without sex will eventually die. Because
So the question is not what you think about it, just yes or no. Is there an obligation in a marriage to have sex?
Yes.
Okay. Moving around the table. Next.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have an opinion on this at this time. I haven't formed an opinion on it.
Me too. Me too.
Okay, so I won't hold this against you, but knee jerk, just like a knee jerk reaction.
My knee jerk
would be,
leans towards yes, because your physical relationship is part of your union, or what makes someone a significant other. I have 100 platonic relationships, but that's the thing that makes that changes a platonic relationship to an emotional, significant relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My knee-jerk reaction.
And then
is yes.
moving around the table from there, is a woman obligated to give sex in a relation or in a marriage? Is she obligated to do so?
What is this? Is it to me?
Yeah. Come on, guys, pay attention. Pay attention. We're going around the table.
I thought you were asking a different question. So
No, it's the same question.
I kind of agree with her, but the way you're phrasing the question kind of sounds forceful, but at the same time, yes. I don't know.
Yeah. So without the caveats, just for now, are you obligated to give sex in a marriage? Are you obligated to do so?
I think it's two different questions. The first question you asked was is it a woman's duty to have sex in a relationship?
Yeah. Well, what is it? I'm sorry. I'm confused. A duty is an obligation, correct?
Thank you.
Sort of.
Well, what else could it be?
I don't know. It sounds kind of more forceful.
In fact, I will just give you the Google definition of the word duty. For some reason, I'm guessing, right, that it's going to say obligation right in it. Let's see. Duty definition. A moral or legal obligation. A moral or legal obligation is what a duty is. So, yeah. So is a woman obligated to have sex in her? Okay, then yes. Okay. So then next.
There you go.
Yes, I do think so.
You think so?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Into the mics.
Yes.
Okay.
It should definitely
Moving
be a
on.
part of a marriage.
Yes. I think it's your duty to fulfill it.
Fulfill.
Thank you. Fulfill.
Yeah.
Thanks. Each other's needs. So if sex is one of them, then you should.
So you have an obligation to do so?
If you feel like that in a marriage, yes. If you don't feel like it, no.
Okay. So just very quickly, show of hands at the table. Everybody who said yes, there's an obligation to do so. Okay. So now that we have the obligation standard applied, here's the question. This is going around the feminist circles. There was a woman who was receiving chemotherapy, and her husband came in every single night to receive head from her, right? She was, by this logic, obligated to give him said head. Is that correct? And we'll go around the table again.
Well, I did put that stipulation in my answer. So I think this is like something they should probably talk about in therapy, because I'm assuming maybe the woman is not feeling her best, but I do think, you should still try. You still are in a marriage. However, I think that the man should be like more lenient during these times, or if you're a very open-minded person, then maybe me personally.
But she's obligated, right?
Well, yes, I do think that you're obligated to ensure that your husband's needs are met. I did not say by you.
Okay.
If you're bald and in chemotherapy and you don't feel like doing it, and you're like, you know what, like I'm just focused on trying to live right now. If you want to go sleep with somebody else, and that's just to fulfill your physical needs, like I think that would be a potential solution. I mean,
yeah, but if they're Christians, they can't do that. That's not an option, right?
I mean,
by the way, we're gonna do you guys can keep talking. We're gonna do a TTS pizza party. It's gonna be a roast session if you guys want. So get in your TTS. You guys continue talking though, but we got some pizza here. Give the girls a little breather.
Yeah. So I think it's case by case basis, but I think that your obligation.
I thought it was obligation before.
No, it's an obligation to make sure your man's needs are met. But did I say that that's your personal obligation? If you're struggling and in chemo, it might not be your obligation. Maybe give the obligation to somebody to take it over temporarily, and then when you're feeling back to your best self and you feel like you can, All
right. Well, let me get the rest of the answers in real quick. So we'll go next. You said it's an obligation. Right? So what do you think in this situation?
I think it's still an obligation to have sex, but I think your opinion matters. Like the wife's opinion. If she's in that state, it should depend on her.
Okay, well that doesn't sound like an obligation. That sounds like it's optional. But we'll go to the next one then. Obligation? Remember, she has an obligation, yeah?
I would say yes. Of course, it's a very strong word, but I believe that in a couple that actually does have a potential and that is strong enough to survive in the future as the team, it will be an obligation that will not hurt them in any way, neither emotional or physical,
Well, that doesn't sound like an obligation. It sounds like it's just optional. Right?
No, I do not want to make it sound optional. I believe that it is an obligation in the healthy couples that have a chance to survive in the future. In case that this is the kind of bonding that will last, this obligation should not give anybody any discomfort. And in case this situation happens, well, it definitely needs attention and needs to be fixed, either through therapy. It needs to be processed and
Lucas
fixed.
donated $100. Andrew, to answer a rhetorical question. It's simply a tacit acknowledgement that the sum total of their intrinsic value is predicated on their triumvirate of wholeness.